Good morning. Welcome, everybody, to Lynn City Hall. It is such an honor to have MassDevelopment here to share these exciting awards for the Community One-Stop Program, specifically for the Brownfields Redevelopment Fund. MassDevelopment has been such a tremendous partner to the City of Lynn, and we're just so excited to have the team here and its director, Dan Rivera. How about a round of applause for MassDevelopment? Honored to be joined by my colleagues, State Representative Dan Cahill. We have a representative from Senator Creighton's office. Thank you. Councilor at Large Nicole McLean. Ward 3 Councilor Coco Allensug. Ward 4 Councilor-elect Natasha Mechi-Madry. And Ward 6 Councilor Fred Hogan. And a couple, also State Representative Pete Capano. Various city departments and partners represented, EDIC, Community Development, Planning, so thank you all for being here. As well as one of our peer communities who's come to Lynn to help celebrate, and we're honored to have you here. And really excited to highlight this amazing program around the state and also the way it's helping our community. Brownfields is maybe not the most exciting name for things that are going on. It doesn't inspire, I think, warm feelings, because it's a recognition that there's a problem. There's a problem and someone's got to fix it. It's not a problem that people here created, but it's a problem that people here live with every day. And to have the support from MassDevelopment and the work that all of you do every day to be able to address those problems and thinking about sites and land and buildings and what that means for the people that live and work in this community, protecting their health and safety, and also opening up possibilities for a better community, for a stronger community, for a community that rights the wrongs of the past in a way that creates opportunities for us to continue to right the wrongs of the present and keep this community moving forward. So we're incredibly grateful for the support, and it's really my honor to introduce someone who, as I mentioned, has been a true champion for gateway cities around the Commonwealth, for MassDevelopment's mission around the Commonwealth, and particularly here in the City of Lynn, Dan Rivera.
Good morning. There's not a lot of us, but there's a few of us. Good morning. All right. I'm Dan Rivera. I'm the CEO and President of MassDevelopment. It's a pleasure to be here with Mayor Nicholson and local legislators to celebrate the Community One-Stop. I'm from Lawrence, and to come to Lynn and to see the work the mayor's doing and the council and all the local leaders, it just warms the heart, because a lot of times folks think about the great places these cities used to be, and being a kid from one of those cities, I always say it never stopped being great. The people in it have always worked hard and to lift the community, and today more than ever, as we bring stuff on shore, as we look for places to build housing, as we look to redevelop and drive the Massachusetts economy, gateway cities really are where this stuff is happening. So really great to be here and to celebrate the latest round of the Commonwealth's Community One-Stop for Growth grant process. Delivered this year $164 million for 338 grants to support local economic development projects in 161 communities across the state. And you got to start off where everything begins, which is at the top. And really a round of applause for the leadership that Governor Healy, Lieutenant Governor Driscoll, Economic Development Secretary Yvonne Howe, who's the chair of my board, MassDevelopment, and the Undersecretary of Economic Foundations, Ashley Stoba, for all the work they did in focusing the One-Stop and their commitment to easing the housing shortage, creating jobs, breathing life into underserved properties, and advancing community goals across the Commonwealth. So a round of applause for the administration, Governor Healy, and the crew. But for their largesse, we would not be here. And again, you got to give love where love is due. Mayor Nicholson and the team in Lynn, they received, they didn't do bad. They have a pretty nice haul from the One Stop. $3 million worth of One Stop grants, and a round of applause for Lynn for all the great work that they're doing. And I know Senator Creighton sent a staff person, and Rep. Cahill's here and Rep. Capano's here. I always think it's never a bad time to give love to the legislators. Never a bad time. They've been beat up a little bit this past week, but I gotta tell you, the only thing harder than not having money is having money to spend, because you gotta figure out money. And so, how many crises you guys are dealing with? Transportation crisis, the housing crisis, childcare crisis, the environmental crisis, a budget crisis, a crisis of confidence. I couldn't even know what title we're this morning. So I can only imagine the stress that you guys have. So if you haven't, and education, by the way, they funded it really nicely, but still a lot of concerns about education. So a round of applause for the work that the legislators do every day. I really mean that. I think the impact that the legislators have on our lives, is really important. So for those of you that don't know, MassDevelopment is the Commonwealth's Development Finance Agency and Land Bank, and a founding member of the new Massachusetts Community Climate Bank. Our team at MassDevelopment administers 6 out of the 12 one-stop grants on behalf of the Commonwealth, including Brownfields Redevelopment, the one we're here to celebrate today. And for those of you who don't know this, the Brownfields Fund was created in 1998 to help transform vacant, abandoned, or underutilized industrial commercial properties by financing the environmental assessment and remediation of brownfield sites throughout the Commonwealth. This year, we awarded $1,340,000 in grants through the One Stop to support the environmental assessment and remediation of those 8 sites across the state. That's a lot of words just to say that these projects this money allows for projects that otherwise would not be able to move forward to get a clean bill of environmental health. Can we build something there? Yes, because we've done the assessment, we've done the remediation. In places that for a long time people walk by it and they see, why is this lot empty? Why is this building not a housing or commercial? A lot of times it's because it's got lead, it's got some type of environmental remediation that needs to happen. And so this grants will go specifically to that. These 8 municipalities-owned sites are early stage projects that don't yet have an end developer, but again, like I said, gives it a clean bill of health and allows it to become a productive piece of property and maybe even sooner than later either create some housing or start collecting some taxes on that. Y'all okay with that, right? I would assume so here. So that's the goal of the project. So I'm going to call a bunch of them up. I think that we have 2 of the communities with us. And so when I get to your community, I'm just going to read the top lines of some of them, and then I'll do because I know the City of Attleboro's here, right? That's Attleboro. Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. Round of applause for Attleboro. You know how far that is? And she gets the prize for I Came the Farthest to Get My Check award. So the City of Attleboro is the first one, and she is here to get a $165,000 grant, and the grant will be used for the ongoing cleanup of the site of the former American Metalcraft building at 53 Falmouth Street, advancing its goal to auction the property for redevelopment into multifamily housing or mixed uses. The funds will be used to hire a licensed site professional and to transport and remove contaminated soils from the project site. So another round of applause for Attleboro. Congratulations. Now, until I get to Lynn, y'all don't have to applaud anymore because I think anybody else, but if you're here, raise your hand. City of Brockton, doing $75,000 for remediation of the site in Brockton with the City of Brockton. The Brockton Redevelopment Authority is getting $150,000 for a remediation project at 44 Frederick Douglass Avenue in Brockton. The town of Clinton is getting $250,000 for a site in Clinton. Clinton's in the house, y'all. Get around the bus. So the town of Clinton will use grant funds to remove a 3,700 ton contaminated debris pile. That's a big pile. That's a lot of debris. At 172 Sterling Street that was left over from building demolition in 2008. The work will also include the preparation of a site plan, property survey, and amending of the existing activity and use limitation on the site. Big deal. Another round of applause for Clinton. Thank you for coming on. Town of Hanson, $100,000 for a remediation project in the town of Hanson. The City of Lynn. City of Lynn will use this grant of $100,000. Round of applause for City of Lynn. Thank you very much. They're going to use it to assess potential hazardous building materials, underground storage tanks, buried construction and demolition debris, and other environmental concerns at the Lynn Multiservice Center building and property at 100 Willow Street, 5561 Liberty Street. This project will clear a major obstacle to the rehabilitation of the building and the long-term protection of community services it provides. So congratulations again to the City of Lynn. City of Revere, $250,000 for a project in the City of Revere and the town of Westford. It's a $250,000 project in the town of Westford. Again, these 8 projects are really important to the development of more housing, more commercial space, and the redevelopment of the communities in general. It does equal about $1,340,000 for these projects. And again, it just goes to show you how small of a dollar amount it would take to make a big impact. It's just that these things they're touchy, and you have to have the right people go through them in the environment to go, clean bill of health. And these projects will advance, again, housing and the redevelopment of those neighborhoods. So congratulations to everyone who got an award. I got to say again, we could not have done this but for the support of Governor Healy, Lieutenant Governor Driscoll, Secretary Howe, and her team, and in ensuring that we had those here. And by the way, Secretary Howe, one of Secretary Howe's team members here, Vicki Grimes, here with us. Vicki? And from MassDevelopment, Geetha Romani, who's here as well. Round of applause. I always introduce the MassDevelopment staff because they're great. It always makes it like, oh, thank you for doing that. But also because they're the ones that know where the money's at. I just do whatever they tell me. So if you need some money, you gotta go talk to Geetha. She'll take care of you. Anyhow, so we're gonna do a quick picture, and then we'll be after we have the legislators speak. Then we're gonna do a quick picture, and we'll wrap it up. So can I have the Senator Crichton staff person, Rep. Cahill and Rep. Capano, come up and say a few words? You can say a few words if you want. I mean, y'all just passed a big budget last night. How about that? A round of applause for that.
Well, I just want to echo everything the mayor said, and I want to thank Dan Rivera and the MassDevelopment team. And there's no way you could tackle all these legacy problems, and I call them legacy problems, contamination, environmental concerns everywhere. A lot of the development that's happened in Lynn wouldn't have been done without help with the Brownfields issuing money from the state. It's great to be supported by the administration, Governor Healy, Kim Driscoll, Lieutenant Governor. We have examples in a history of making this work. So we want to thank them, but also recognizing the team that we have here with Jamie Marsh, Jim Cowdell, the counselors. It's a partnership, and we wouldn't be getting these grants if there wasn't the confidence that we could make this work. So this is a step in the right direction for the Multi-Service Center, and hopefully, what seems like pie in the sky many years ago, in a lot of cases now, is becoming reality, and this is one small step to making this a reality. And I want to thank you.
Thank you.
Reluctantly, I'll say a few things as people don't like to really listen to politicians, but I want to thank Dan Rivera and MassDevelopment. As you know, Dan was a former mayor of Lawrence, and it is just such a important role that you play, and we're very grateful for your experience because you understand the difficulties that many of us on the local level have with respect to small issues that may seem to some, but are huge issues to our local officials, and the mayor and the city council are here because it's that much of an important issue here in Lynn, where you have cities and towns paying for the sins of people's pasts. Too many folks are abandoning former properties that they found out are contaminated, and to clean those properties up, it takes untold amounts of money. It's a lot cheaper to walk away. So with partnership with Mass Development and the Healy administration and the legislature to fund these projects, it's really critical to redevelopment, not only our downtown areas and some of our environmental justice areas, but also folks that are in the central part of our state, east coast as well, and the western part of the Berkshires. So we're grateful to be a partner with you. We're really excited to see some of these properties coming online at a time when housing needs are critical and economic development is always at a forefront for cities and towns. So I want to thank you again. We really appreciate you all being here, especially traveling all the way from points west and south. And I will be taking pictures to share with the representatives from that area as well, so don't you worry. But thanks again for everyone, and thanks again, Dan, for you and your team. You do a bang-up job, and we're really appreciative of all the hard work you do.
Great, so we'll do a quick picture, so if I could have, I took my glasses off. The folks who came from traveled Attleboro and Clinton and Lynn, whoever wants to represent, come on up, and then we'll do a big picture. Everybody can just be in the photograph. Come on. We're gonna stand in front. You know, I did next to the podium, the other one, but I think there's some few of us right in front. Come on in. Thank you so much. Mayor, if you want to have some closing remarks, we'd love to have you close it out for us. Thank you.
I'll just close by, again, thanking Mass Development for all their support. We have some, I think, really exciting plans for the Multiservice Center, and this is really a big step forward for us. Thank you to everybody from the other communities who were here, and to all our partners, the teams planning, EDIC, Community Development, for making this possible. We really appreciate and are excited to work with you all. Thank you.